Hi once again. A few more vintage lamps. These ones are mainly neons. There are several duplicates in here, so I shall just try and pick out the ones that are in fact different. We can start off with this little example, which is American. It's got the, well, that one hasn't got a name on the side, but these were mainly made by GE, and these on the whole did have a resistor in the cap, but not always, and they weren't always marked as not having a resistor. So, you know, if you're going to try and run one of these, make sure you either start it on a very low voltage or be sure that there is a resistor. These were 110 volts, by the way. I don't know if that's showing up. I've got the other camera now. Oh, around this way. They're 115, and on the other side should be the type. I think it's an NE2, Neon 2. They made these in neon, and you could get them in argon. I think it was argon that gave the like a bluey light. I've got both types, but where they appear in these boxes I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure all of these are just normal neons. There's one, you can see it better there. NE2, obviously 2 watts. Same lamp again. These were one time advertised on eBay for a very high price. I don't know why, but they were. I got most of these well over the years. They didn't cost me that kind of money, but they weren't cheap. Anyhow, we've got also variations of the same idea, neon. This is an American one. The innards are slightly different. You've got your outer coil and the centre electrode. Just a variation to what they were made, or made like. Same comments about the resistor. Always, if you have these and want to try and run them, either just to show them working, use a variac, which is a variable transformer, and make sure there is a resistor built in. If in doubt, use about a several K resistor. The higher the better, actually, so it doesn't do any damage if there's no resistor, because if you connect these up and there's no resistor, you won't even have one chance. You'll have a bang and the bulb is completely ruined. This is an English version of more or less the same type of lamp. It's a neon again, small Edison screw. This one's by Mazda. Turn it up and see it. There's the name there, Mazda, BTH. It's British Thompson Houston, which is the English version of GE of America. Now we go back a few years, more than a few years. This was maybe before I was born. The name's on the side. Royal Edison. There's the name, Royal Edison. Carbon filament. And hopefully you can see it more clearly with this camera. No, put it down on there. There it is. Carbon. It's also what we call a pip top, where the evacuation was done through this little pip at the top. Modern lamps, it's done in the base or on the stem, but these old ones are pip top. Be careful not to damage that pip, because if it's damaged, the bulb will not work. It will light up and fill with smoke. But there's a vacuum in this one, and it is working fine. Bayonet cap again. Got another carbon with a very unusual cap. The outer is the contact, so you've got a centre contact bayonet. That is very unusual. Normally you'd have your two contacts, but this has the one, and the outer sleeve or collar is the other side, and this would be a carbon as well. You can't see inside, but it's in fact carbon with the sealing pip again, pip top. Now, I mentioned in the last video I done these commemorative lamps for the coronation. You could either, some were made to be used that way round. Well, this is one that goes the other way round. Yes, I think it does. ER, there we are. With the crown, and this was probably made by another company. As I said before, I think it was Osram, Echo, Atlas, and possibly Siemens made these lamps. They're quite rare now, you very rarely see them. If you do and you can pick them up, go ahead, don't pay too much for them, but you can probably pay a lot of money for them. So this is one the other way around, and the resistor once again is built into the base. While talking about neons, I did show this type made by Crompton, or rather had the Crompton name on. This one has the Siemens name, as possibly was made by Siemens. I think they had a factory in Woolwich, which is in the London area. Siemens Neon. They were set up by one of the Siemens brothers who came across from Germany, called Siemens Brothers. Now, leaving that, we come on to, so we've got the name there, a pointer light. Note the base has 3 contacts, the outer and 2 inners, and the reason for this, these are a totally different type of lamp. In a way they're an arc lamp, and you can see the electrode in there. I'm not going to get technical at this stage and say how they work, but they required a voltage to heat up that element in there, or filament, and then that would start an arc going. I think it would make the electrode bend towards the little bobbly bit, and it would set up an arc. And these, I understand, were quite bright. Very unusual. This was made by, I believe, Royal Edison. It's 100 volts to 250 volts. 100 CP, which is candle power. It's got an AP number on it, AP 9780, that's a government number. And yes, it was made by Royal Edison, made over here in Great Britain, and it was a pointer light. There were several types of these made, but this is one example, pointer light, which would need special gear to run it, so don't just go and screw it in and expect it to work, because you'll end up with a loud bang and you have a broken lamp. Here we have yet another neon. This is one of the beehives, so called because the arrangement of the electrodes in some cases did resemble an old style of beehive. This one doesn't really, but they're still more or less that shape. This is there's names on it. Phillips. You've got a number there. There's no voltage on this, so I'd be wary. It's possibly 110 or it could be 230. There would be, yes, you can see it in the base, there's a resistor. So, you know, you have this, try it on 110 volts first, or even lower than that, 70, 80. A variac is certainly a thing you need. They're very, very handy. One day I'll get my one out and we'll have a few demonstrations. We've got trying to think to show you next. Here we are, that'll be the one. The filament, or the carbon filament, you'd hardly see on this. It's very, very hard to see. I'm not going to light it up. This is an extremely rare lamp, made by a company called Stern. And to prove it, we've even got the name on the lamp. See if I can bring it up. It might be upside down, but a name should appear there. Made by Stern Electric. It's a very, very old lamp. Carbon filament. It's an unusual arrangement as well. The two lead-in wires, and the filament is like a zigzag filament up and down. It's very hard to show you it. I can see that behind there. Now even this camera's not going to pick it up. At least I don't think it will. No, I do apologise, but I know the lamp's a worker, and once again it's a pip top. Very old. Small bayonet cap, made by Stern. That's S-T-E-A-R-N, Stern Electric. We've got another crucifix or cross lamp. I think that came from Australia as well. think I've done rather well with those. And yet another one from this is not a crucifix. This is a flicker candle, very old. Very old flicker candle from Japan. 240 volts, Japan. With a bayonet cap. That's an oldie. Anyhow, that is more or less in this little tray of lamps. There are a few duplicates in there, the neons. That one there's got a small screw base, but my advice would be that if anyone is lucky enough to get a hold of any of these lamps, they're mainly the American ones, make sure you use a resistor with them, because they don't always say that they haven't got a resistor built in. They might even have a voltage on there, which is even more misleading. It might say 110 volts, but they forget to say there's no resistor in it. So if you go and plug that in 110 volts, it goes bang, and you've lost your lamp. So wire a resistor in. As I say, a very high one, several megohms would probably do the job, but if you use a variac, wind it up very slowly, because they do creep up very, very fast, and you'd soon know if there wasn't a resistor in it. It would light up quite brightly, so back it off as soon as that happened. But I would certainly get a high resistance in series with the lamp, and that way you'll be on the safe side. Anyhow, same comments as I made with the last lot. Leave any questions you need answering. If I can answer them, I will. I'll probably get back in another video. I find it easier to talk in a video than write it down or type it out. I'm not very good at typing. I hate making spelling mistakes. So anyhow, there's a few of the lamps. Another tray full done. There's quite a few left, by the way, so I could send you all off to sleep while I show them. Anyhow, thanks again for watching, and as I say, any questions please ask, please subscribe, please like, all the things you do on YouTube. Thanks again. Thank you.